Hello, I'm Ritchie Knox, and you are tuned into Virtuous Teacher. In this episode, we'll be talking about your teaching style. How do you teach? We're going to take whatever you say and compare it to a fictional character. That is the basis, all right? So what fictional character best represents your teaching style? Before we jump into this fun conversation, I would like to announce that I have officially released the Virtuous Teacher t-shirts. And you can get one at bhshirts.com, or you can email me directly at merch@virtuousteacher.com. Okay, so I have a list of characters who I think make for some really fun and adventurous teachers. And here they are, okay? Let's go through them. Are you the Neo? The Neo is the, cool, calm, and collected teacher. It doesn't matter what's going on. Bell rings, kids acting crazy, fire drill. They're always calm because they have such strong inner belief, right? They believe in themselves so greatly that nothing rattles them. I call that the Neo. Are you the Miss Frizzle? I don't know if you've ever watched the Magic School Bus, but Miss Frizzle would take her class on these scientific, supernatural field trips that were borderline dangerous. But that is what she was. So is your style more of a risk-taking style? Do you take risk in the name of learning, fun, and excitement? I saw this video online where the teacher, he had to be a physics teacher. He was, swinging this gigantic bowling ball on a pendulum, and the bowling ball got this close to his face. So I would classify him as a Miss Frizzle because he could have definitely knocked his teeth out. The bowling ball could have snapped the rope that it was swinging from, and it could have landed on a student's lap. But in the name of education, it was all good fun. Are you the robot? All right. I don't really know a robot that fits this particular description, but are you mechanical? Do you stick to the script? When people talk to you, they often classify you as someone that's very rigid. Are you the robot? Are you the Yoda? All right. Are you someone who doesn't move a lot? You make every movement count, but you give these very, very strong lessons. You're very wise. You're unprovoked. It doesn't really matter what someone does. You never seem to be rattled. Are you that individual? Do you use certain tactics to teach very useful lessons? I call that the Yoda. Are you the Joker? You got a lot of gags. You kind of play pranks on your students. You believe in having fun. You're not afraid to laugh in the classroom. You border on the line of inappropriate, but you always snap back and keep it professional, if you will. Are you the Joker? Okay. Are you the Clint Eastwood? You're fearless. You demand respect. You don't look for trouble, but you handle trouble should it find you. The Clint Eastwood. Make my day. Do you dare students to come into your classroom and try you? Are you the Clint Eastwood? Are you the Katniss Everdeen? You're a student-first teacher. You put the needs of your students over your own. You're caring and brave. We all had a teacher that was the Katniss Everdeen, like your teacher that that they are denying themselves in favor of you. I've had one teacher that way. All right. They're brave. They will stand up for you. Even when you don't necessarily want to stand up for yourself, this teacher would do it. Are you the Katniss Everdeen? Are you the Batman or Batwoman? You're quiet. You're hard to find. It's like, hey, so where's Mr.? Where's Mrs.? But you're there. You're paying attention. You're all probably eavesdropping. All right. Your work speaks for itself. You don't make a really loud, a lot of noise in terms of verbally. You don't say a lot. But when you do speak, it's very, very poignant, very sharp and to the point. You use different props and peripherals to enhance learning. It's almost like you have a tool belt or some type of belt on where you can pull out certain gadgets. You have all these different peripherals. And perhaps you drive a nice car. Are you the Batman? What about the Wonder Woman / Superman? Are you the perfectionist? Are you charismatic in the way that you teach? Do students often emulate you? All right. Do you have like a group of students saying, I want to be Mr. I want to be Mrs. So-and-so, are you the Superman or the Wonder Woman of your school? So those were some of the most basic teaching styles that I was able to come up with. And maybe that doesn't cover every teaching style in the spectrum, but if it does, which one are you? Are you the Neo, the Miss Frizzle, the Robot, the Yoda, the Joker, the Clint Eastwood, the Katniss Everdeen, the Batman? Are you the Wonder Woman or Superman? Are you any of those? And I'll go first. Let's see. For me, I'm somewhat of a hybrid between a couple of these characters. I think for certain I am the Neo. All right. I started off kind of naive, not really knowing what my purpose was. And I'm talking about before I went to college for education. But I started off as very, dim-witted, Canoe Reeves, for crying out loud. Not really understanding my greatness, my power. I was probably focusing my strengths in different areas in life. And then it all hit me. I met my Morpheus, and, I got myself together. I got on the right course, went to college, graduated, and I have not looked back since. Sometimes in the most chaotic environments, I can still maintain calm. All right. One of my favorite scenes from The Matrix is when the agents are shooting at Neo and he's pretty much dodging bullets in slow time. Sometimes as I'm teaching, I feel like I'm doing that. There could be chaos happening, someone throwing a paper ball, a kid falling out of a chair. I see it all happening in slow-mo, and I'm usually extremely calm. All right. It's a funny joke out there that kind of gives you a hint to how calm I can be in very, very, very diverse situations. I was at a basketball game and our team hit a buzzer beater. Now, little did I know, one of the teachers was recording the basketball game. And when the kid hit the buzzer beater, of course he was recording, and the entire gym erupted and started running around the court and going crazy. Well, a couple of days later, he comes to me and says, "Knox, you have to see this. This is the most funniest thing ever." He shows me on camera, just sitting there as calm as can possibly be, as everyone is running hysterically throughout the gym, reacting to the buzzer beater. Right. But I was just kind of sitting there like, as if I was the only one in the room. It was hilarious. And I think it definitely said a lot about my style of personality, not just teaching. So I would say I'm a little bit of the Neo. However, I would be absolutely lying to you if I did not take ownership of this second style of teaching. I have to be honest and say that I'm a little bit of the Clint Eastwood. All right. I do not look for trouble, but when it finds my classroom, I absolutely, provide the necessary consequences. And I don't do it for my own self-righteous reasons. I do it to protect the learning environment itself. The environment is the passageway from which knowledge goes from me to my students. So anytime there's behaviors that, endanger that, you'll always see me step up and protect the classroom environment. All right. And of course, I demand respect. Today it happened and it was amazing. It was one of my more challenging classes. I was giving out information and I heard a few conversations over here, a few conversations over there, and I would not teach until the entire classroom was quiet. And I made a note to call students by name. "Sir, so-and-so, hey, I'm giving out instructions. Can you be quiet?" And then once I started to talk, maybe a smaller conversation would happen to my right. I would stop again. And I did that maybe 2 to 3 different times until every single student realized that was the expectation for that moment. I need every single voice off so that I can give information, and I'm not going to allow you to talk while I'm teaching. Not right now. I often allow my students to talk very openly and freely, but what I'm trying to do is put in, or I should say, establish the expectation that when my mouth opens, your mouth has to close. Why? Because I'm giving out information that is vital to your education and your well-being as far as the classroom is concerned, your academic well-being. And oftentimes, if I'm talking about students, and if I'm being honest, a lot of times they're talking about things that have no real basis as far as education is concerned. So I've made it a point, and I was happy to see myself do it today, because a lot of times I'm reflecting on my practices, and I was very happy to see that I would not teach that class until they were absolutely quiet. And I was also slightly surprised that they respected me enough to be quiet, because they could have just kept, talking in different little pockets. It's almost like whack-a-mole. You get this side quiet, and now this side is talking. You get this side quiet, and you got that side quiet. And now there's another student on the left side of you. So it was awesome to see that they all stopped talking, which to me showed a great sign of respect. And as such, because everyone was quiet, when I gave out the information, they all received it. And then to double down on that, I cold called individuals to see if they had retained the information I just said. I was giving out instructions for the lesson for that day, and that is extremely important. That is why you have to command everyone to be quiet. It's not a question. It's not an option. Everyone must be quiet, because this is the meat and potatoes of what we're going to be doing and learning for today's class. If you don't get this, if you miss this, you miss the entire point of being in the class for that day, which means I need everyone quiet as I give out the lesson and expectations for today's class. And it was amazing to see everyone, be quiet. Quite frankly, it was amazing to see everyone stop talking and show the respect that, I feel that I deserve as an educator, right? And to be very clear, I lead with respect. Yes, ma'am, sir, thank you, please. I'm always saying that, even though my students are younger or what have you, I still lead with respect. I always respect them first, so that when they respect me, or when it's time to respect me, it's not this very strange thing. They don't have to pull teeth to do it. It's like, wait, Mr. Knox is very respectful. Let's give him our undivided attention because he's asking for it. So I would say I'm somewhat of a hybrid between the Neo and the Clint Eastwood. And I am just super excited about what style of teacher you are. So if you could, in the comment section, please tell me, what type of teacher are you? What fictional character best suits your teaching style? I have to know that. All right. But that is all I wanted to talk about. I just want to get to know the people that are tuning in. I know that tons of educators are, listening and supporting and things like that. And this is my way of figuring out who you are. All right. I think the whole fictional character aspect helps me really understand who you are, because if you just if you just leave a comment and say, hey, I'm pretty quiet as a teacher, or I'm very boisterous, I mean, it doesn't tell me everything I need to know. But when it comes to fictional characters, whether it be movie or animated, it gives me so much more to go off of. But with that being said, thank you for tuning in to the Virtuous Teacher. I cannot wait to read the comments on this one. And of course, have a great day. I'll see you soon.